Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. It's a good day when we have back on, making a return appearance, our friends from the Chicano Federation. Liz Ramirez, is the CEO. How you doing there, Liz?
I'm doing great.
How long you been involved with Chicano Federation?
I just celebrated my 2-year anniversary last month.
Congratulations. So you were on with the Federation before that, or as a board member or a staff, or this is only 2 years?
No, only 2 years. I've always been a fan and an advocate of Chicano Federation and the work that we do, but just brand new 2 years in.
Where were you before?
I was at Promises to Kids Foundation.
Oh, very, very nice. Put on great events out at Joan Waite's home. Thank you very much. I know. I was on the committee a couple of times, joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel. Kristen is the executive director of San Diego Writers Inc., celebrating their 20th anniversary this year. A lot of cool things going on Liberty Station. How you doing there, Kristen?
I'm doing great.
You're familiar with the Chicano Federation, are you not?
Not as much as I should be.
Well,
yeah, I'm looking forward to learning more.
Why don't you just jump right in?
Let's just start out with your mission.
Yeah, I mean, we just went through a new strategic planning process. We're actually in year 1 of 3.
Okay.
And it was really exciting for me to come on and really take in the voice of the community, the people we serve, our constituents, our supporters, to create a brand new mission, vision, and values. So we're really, really excited. Really our mission is to create opportunities for the families we serve, to create equity in San Diego. So we're really fighting for equity. We started now 55 years ago, the organization, in the middle of the civil rights movement and the Chicano movement. And times have changed a lot. Back in the day, there was a lot of attacks against the Latina community. And while times have changed, there's still a need for equity and justice. And I'm very proud of the work that we're doing.
That's awesome. So the families that you serve, what are kind of some of the programs that you have?
Yeah, so we serve about 50,000 families each year, and we through a couple of pillars. Okay. Affordable housing. We have affordable housing, 8 buildings of affordable housing. And I do want to share that although our name is Chicano Federation, we're an organization for everyone, right? And so our affordable housing buildings, actually we house the majority of our tenants are refugees. We're very happy to continue to grow in that space. We have advocacy is still, that's how we were founded, in the roots of advocacy, and we still do a lot of advocacy work to this day, and that's an arm that I want to continue to expand to make sure that the voices of our communities are always heard. And then we have a lot of child development programs. We have a preschool in Barrio Logan. We have openings right now, so if you're listening and you have little ones, it's a free full-day preschool. Wow. We open up at 6:30 in the morning till 5:30 p.m.
Wow.
And year-round. We only close on the federal holidays, so no summer breaks, no spring breaks. We're there for the families.
Wow.
And what I love is that we have a mental health clinician on site to help the little ones, and we do wraparound services for all of our families. So whether you're at our preschool or are at affordable housing, we're there to support the entire family unit, whether we have the services in-house or we refer to one of our, awesome partners that are doing great work in the community. And then we also have workforce development programs. So we started workforce development programs with the need of childcare. We had a lot of women that were operating their childcare at home. And this was, your grandmas, your tias, your moms that are opening up, their house to do childcare. And we built them with the tools to create a business plan, apply for licenses, get loans, get grants. And that is a space that we're growing a lot. We have over 1,000 childcare providers, at-home childcare providers within our network in the county of San Diego.
Wow.
Yeah, that is huge. We're chatting with Liz Ramirez. She's the CEO of the Chicano Federation. I'm Drew Schlosberg with Cloudcast Media, listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We're the nation's longest-running community podcast, now in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, broadcasting from these really cool studios here in Scripps Ranch and Mission Fed for more than 6 decades, continuing to support great organizations like the Chicano Federation and everything in between, joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel. She's the executive director of San Diego Writers Inc., celebrating their 20th anniversary. Talk about how, and I know that's really critical to you folks, education and literacy. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. We know that education is key. Our little ones are key for the economy, for leadership. And that's why we have such a big focus on early childhood education. And what I love about our programs, that it's not just about working with the little one. We also, like I said, work with the provider of childcare, and then we work with the parents. So we make sure that there's that continuum of care, whether you're at daycare or at home, and that we're tracking the developmental stages of the little ones. And so it becomes a partnership, and what's being taught at school is being reinforced at home. And I love to be able to have that partnership with our families and also with case managers and staff that really understand the power of education, that understand also the barriers of education, right? A lot of my staff are first-generation immigrants, first-generation college students. A lot of us didn't go to preschool and didn't have, including myself, that preschool education. So we realized the power that education has, and especially when you start early.
And can we underscore that this program goes 6:30 to 5:30 and it goes year round? Having a little one.
Yeah.
Nobody does that in San Diego.
Yeah.
Nobody does that in San Diego. And, I'm watching him now. He's going to go on this 3-month break, and all of that social emotional development is just kind of going to go out the window, because he's not with this group of kids anymore, not to mention the learning. I mean, that's amazing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. For us, it's so important that the kids socialize with each other, right? We saw, unfortunately, our communities were hit so hard during COVID, and still getting, little ones back into preschool has been a challenge. And so, again, I reiterate to folks, we always have openings, and it's free, full day. So we welcome you in.
That's awesome.
How closely do you work with organizations that provide sort of the technology, the tools and all that? We all know when the pandemic hit, certainly those who didn't have access to the internet or didn't have the tools, certainly that gap was widening. And of course, that in this day and age, if you don't have those tools, it's going to widen even more. Talk about how you work with groups to make sure there's access.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of great partners, like Cox Communications, and a lot of folks that come out and support our programs. When the pandemic hit, we saw how our families we're not set up with Wi-Fi. We're not set up with the technology. We're not set up, the little ones, with the space to, take care of their educational needs. And so all of our partners really stepped up. One of the ages that we don't really think about as often, because we're so focused on education, is our seniors, right? And how it affects our seniors. And I love that to this day, we're still holding digital literacy classes open to the community, but also at our affordable housing complexes for seniors. And it's just so wonderful for them to see how to email each other. And they tell me, Mija, I opened up a Face account and I'm able to now communicate with my family from another country. So we're breaking, that technology divide, but also that communication divide and that isolation for many of our tenants.
Yeah, there's no question that is so critical in this. And we've been fortunate enough at Cloudcast, we work with groups like the San Diego Council on Literacy that certainly works with organizations like yours. Talk about some of those partnerships. You mentioned Cox Communications, obviously, with Mission Fed. Who else do you work with?
Yeah, I mean, there are so many. We work with a lot of corporate partners, but also nonprofit partners, the city and the county. And, that's why I feel so blessed to come into this space in San Diego and to come into Chicano Federation, because folks have just really opened up their doors, and how can we collaborate? And I think that's what makes San Diego unique, that at the end of the day, we're here to collaborate and work together to bring our families forward.
Yeah, and as Kristen knows so well, she's right in the heart of Liberty Station, of course, and that's just a great location for what she does and all this. San Diego, anyone who's spent any time here, it is absolutely the smallest huge city in the history of humankind.
Yeah, for sure.
And we know that, and there's a lot of advantages to that, because if you know someone, they'll introduce you to Joe Blow, and we seem to be pretty good at that aspect of it. We're chatting with Liz Ramirez. She is the CEO of the Chicano Federation. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. Listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel, San Diego Writers Inc. Do you folks, sort of tee this to both of you, Liz and to Kristen, do you work with some of the kids on writing literacy and so forth? Because Kristen could help out.
Yeah.
Drew is always volunteering me to do more work, but no, I would love to help. If we can, for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, we always welcome folks to come in and support our little ones. Love connecting with special guests to come, read to them and help them. Literacy is one of the key things, as you know, with 3 to 5 year olds.
Yeah, well, it is. And listen, if you're not reading by grade 3, we all know the research behind it. And the reason why I bring this up, communication, I was near and dear to my heart. I worked for the Union Tribune for many years, and our CEO and founder, Charles Parisi, who loves biotech, but he's very bullish on, if you can't communicate, ball game is over. You can't read and write. And obviously that's what's in your wheelhouse, Kristen, as well.
Yeah, true story.
Yeah.
I was wondering if we could circle back, if we could. You talked about lots of great programs, but you said, I think, that you are passionate about the advocacy portion.
Correct.
Can you talk about some of the efforts in that realm? Because, I want to learn more about that.
Yeah. So I will tell you some exciting things that we're working on. I actually just started a CEO advisory board that is made up of just community members and recipients of our programs. So for me, it was so important to come in and to hear the voice of the community. I remember being 1 month in and people asking me, interviews, what's your vision for the Federation and what do you want to accomplish? And I'm like, wait, let me learn the community. Let me learn about our programs first, and let me get the input from the community, because I really want the community to drive where the organization is going, right? So we just had our first meeting in March, and it was amazing to hear from them. And actually, a lot of what we're talking about today is what they were sharing, right? Like investment in our youth is what we need. And so I'm really excited just to elevate those voices. I just hired a director director of community organizing, and he's only a month in. But I'm like, you're going to come in and we're going to go running. So we're really excited for the work that we're going to be doing. And then the biggest thing that I'm most excited about is our Leadership Training Institute. That after 20 years, so this was a program that started in 1985. After 20 years, due to lack of funding, the program stopped. And really, the Leadership Training Institute is to train and support emerging leaders with the tools that they need to really contribute more to the community. And Supervisor Chairwoman Nora Vargas went through this program. So many other great leaders in the community have gone through this program, and that is what we need, right? We need more leaders that replicate the community, that not only look like the community, but that share the values of the community. And so that is the goal of this Leadership Training Institute. We have 23 fellows currently going through the program. They're all matched with mentors that are professionals in the community. And we're going to be celebrating our graduation on June. So we're super excited.
No, that's fantastic. Liz, when we come back from break, I want to talk about the Unity Luncheon you folks have been doing and so forth. And then we always save time. In the second half of the show, what can our listeners do to support your efforts? Donate, volunteer, do whatever the case may be. When we return with Liz Ramirez, she is the CEO of the Chicano Federation. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast, now in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for more than 6 decades, continuing to do great things for us folk who live in San Diego County. We are joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel. She is the executive director of San Diego Writers Inc., continuing a great conversation with Liz Ramirez, CEO of the Chicano Federation. Right before break, we were talking about Unity Luncheon. When is it? What is it? And how do we get involved?
Yeah, so the Unity Luncheon is coming up on Friday, May 3rd. We are super excited. We're going to be hosting it at the Hilton Bayfront here in San Diego. And it is a day where we welcome over 500 community leaders to join us in Unity and learn more about our programs and learn more about how to get involved with Chicano Federation. But really, it's just a celebration of unity. And it's my favorite event of the year by far. Just showing up to the room and feeling the energy of so many people that really have big hearts and care about the community. And so it's a lunch celebration. It's the biggest fundraiser of the year for Chicano Federation. We have been doing it for over 50 years. This year we're celebrating our 55th year, and we're really, really excited. We have an amazing keynote speaker, Don Miguel Ruiz Jr., that will be joining us. And really the message is going to be about unity, positivity, about building community, familia, love, and belonging. And that's why we're so excited to have Don Miguel Ruiz Jr. join us, because that's exactly what he talks about in his books, is the power of love and community.
We need a lot of that. Do we not, Kristen?
Yeah, we do. It took me a minute. I was like, oh, that Don Miguel, like the man that I have read all of the things from, like Four Agreements and all of that. That's incredible. So yeah, I would like to go see that man speak.
Well, why don't you go?
I might go.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You need to talk to the CEO, though.
I will talk to the CEO.
Right here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so that's all good. What other questions do you have, Kristen?
Yeah, I saw that you have this like bevy of awards and congratulations. Many, you yourself, some the organization.
Yes.
What's one that you're most proud of at the moment?
Oh man, that is a tough one.
Yeah, because there's so many. You're just like, which one do I choose?
No, I will share, and this ties back into our Unity Luncheon. Just in the month of March, I was recognized by both Mayor Todd Gloria and Chairwoman Nora Vargas for the work that I do in the community, but also the work of Chicano Federation. Right, we go hand in hand, and a lot of this has been on flood relief support. So as some of you may know, during the January flood, one of our affordable housing buildings, well, actually 3 of our affordable housing buildings were flooded, but one of them was hit the hardest, where 25 units were completely flooded.
Wow.
I currently still have 70 residents living in hotels. We had to completely tear apart all of the units. We're hoping to get folks back into their homes by June. So really the Unity Luncheon will be an effort to really fundraise to help bring more relief to these families and support. Just this tragedy has cost of out-of-pocket expenses more than $1 million to the Federation.
Wow.
But we knew, these communities, like I mentioned, our families are refugees. They lost everything. And for many of them, it's not the first time. And we knew that we couldn't let our families alone. Day one, we're like, okay, how do we get folks into hotels? We had no funding at the time, but I was like, how do we jump in? We're not going to leave them alone, because we know that they need help. And that's why I'm so thankful for the San Diego community, that a lot of folks have stepped up already to support. That's why we're almost sold out from our Unity Luncheon. So if you're looking to come, make sure you buy your tickets right away, because we are going to sell out. But it is going to be a beautiful event to raise funds for that. So I am the most proud of those 2 awards, not because of my own recognition, but because they symbolize really the community coming together to really help support these families.
When that fateful day, January 22nd, hit, and all of us in the county watched with horror what's going on, and just put ourselves in the place of those folks that, you wake up in the morning and you're fine. The next thing you know, you don't have anything. And it's just hard to get your hands around that. And you talked about certainly the mental health aspect of what you folks do. It must be so gratifying that these people are so grateful that you're out there with them shoulder to shoulder. You mentioned a bunch of them still in hotels and so forth. And I know the Unity Luncheon is going to raise some money for that. Do you have any other calls for people to donate in this area?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I am calling for our partners, furniture, anything. When you think of, moving into, your dorm or your new house, house, right? Our families lost everything from kitchenware to bedding to, towels, essentials. So we are really, calling on the community for support.
Now, if someone wants to donate, now will you go to the person's house or do they actually drop it off somewhere? How does that work?
They can drop off at our resource center.
Okay.
So,
and where's that?
That's at 3180 University Avenue.
Okay.
So we're at the Credit Union building, and downstairs we have a resource center, so they can drop off there.
Right. And is there a list on the website to say we need the following, tables, beds, mattresses, whatever the case may be?
We don't have a list on the website. However, you can go on our website, ChicanoFederation.org, and connect with us and let us know. The biggest push that we are doing is for gift cards and for monetary to really help the families, allow them to pick what they need for themselves, right, to their taste.
Right.
But we will also need a lot of hygiene items. So if your business or your group of friends are interested in doing a collection drive, we're open. We're solidifying when we're going to welcome everybody back into their units. As soon as we have that more of a date from the contractor, we'll do a call out because we want to do a big welcome back event. So we'll need volunteers. So also follow us on socials because that's where we will be publicizing all of that information.
Yeah, and I'm sure I can speak from my business partner, Charles, that when you have that date, I think we'd like to be down there and maybe do a podcast, from that date, and interview some folks on this. We're chatting with Liz Ramirez. She's the CEO of the Chicano Federation. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for more than 60 years, just doing great things in our community, joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel. She's the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc. They're celebrating their 20th anniversary this year. Got a whole bunch of cool things going on. And there's one in April that you are still working on. Is that correct? Or are you not quite sure yet? Because we are in April, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. That was, yes, I do know what's happening.
What day?
For once. It's Friday, April 26th.
Okay.
It's at the City Heights Annex, the Performance Annex, right outside the library. It's an Across the Generations event. So
very cool.
For women. So a woman is doing poetry and prose, one in her 20s, 40s, 60s, 80s. It's a completely free event. Everybody is welcome to attend. It's going to be great. So
and no registration? You just show up? How's that
No,
work?
you can register online or you can just show up. I don't have a preference. Just come on out. Yeah.
That'd be good. That'd be a lot of fun to do that. What can we do to support you, Liz, and the Chicano Federation?
Yeah, I think more than anything, we're looking for advocates to really share the work that we do, right? So just today, me sharing that we have openings at our preschool. We're hiring teachers at our preschool, really sharing the information and the resources. I think a lot of folks don't know that we offer affordable housing. So if you're in, if you know of anybody that is in need of affordable housing, please contact us. We have, a wait list going, but we constantly have openings, right? So one, sharing the word and getting involved. We host quarterly Café con Pan. We call them Cafecito. You can come to our offices and learn a little bit more about what we do. We're always looking for volunteers. I mentioned the Unity Luncheon. We're going to need about 50 volunteers. So if you're free on Friday, May 3rd, and want to volunteer at the event, we welcome you to come join us. You can learn more, sign up to volunteer, of course, sign up to donate. But we, again, welcome anybody that wants to get involved with either their time, their talent, or their treasure. And you can visit us online, ChicanoFederation.org, to learn more and get plugged in.
Well, listen, I think that's terrific. Do us a favor, if you're up for it. I know you are.
Yeah.
Next time you're on, why don't you bring in a couple of those families that have benefited I'm not sure if we can bring all 50,000 in, but
we can try.
We can try.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, what we love to do is bring in the groups that have benefited from the organizations we've highlighted, and here's an absolute reason why Chicano Federation does some great things. So next time, think about a couple of families that they can say, and maybe in different areas, that you helped this family through health, this one through literacy, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll make sure we do that. Liz, what a pleasure chatting with you, wishing you nothing but phenomenal success at the 55th Annual Unity Luncheon. That'll be May 3rd at the Hilton Bayfront. As Liz mentioned, they're almost sold out, so get your registration in effective immediately. Kristen, any final words?
No, thanks for all the good work you do.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for coming in. We appreciate that.
Thank you for having me.
And you bet. That's Liz Ramirez, CEO of Chicano Federation. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. As you've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest running community podcast. We're now in our 18th year. Brought to you by the wonderful Mission Fed Credit Union, who continues to do great things in our communities for more than 6 decades. We hope you enjoyed the show.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.